Signal up, zkVerify community. Welcome to our monthly community call. Now, if you've been following our socials or hanging out on Discord lately, you probably noticed the many ways we have activating the network. So today's call, we start with how we're securing the foundation through our brand new VFY staking portal, moving from the pioneer days to a sleek, high-performance dashboard that I'll share on the chat in a bit. So we are already seeing 60 million VFY stake with a massive daily payouts of 54 actually annual percentage yield right out of the gate. Just sharing the URL here for you to check it out yourselves. But a secure network needs builders, and then that's where Michael comes in. He's been the driving force behind our ecosystem. And very important upgrades to our dev docs, making it easier than ever for projects to plug into our stack. From there, we'll see that tech in action. Electric Key KC will show us how we're killing the trust me bro meta in gaming. And John Camardo, our VP of product, eager to unveil our AI agent registry and the true reputation engine for the future AI. Thank you all for hopping into the stage, and thank you all for turning up. So let's get started. Let me just check the mic situation here. Okay. So before we look at the apps being built, we need to look at the foundation. Let's talk about a staking glow up. So as you can see on the URL, just share. If you were with us during testnet phases, you're the real MVP. You brave staking primarily using Polkadot interface, which was a powerful, let's say, professional grade tool that got the job done. Required a bit of a developer's touch, if you may. Had to navigate accounts, set up manually to hunt down validator data. Now, as the ecosystem grew, Subwallet and Talisman also joined the fray as the interfaces to the blockchain. But they were wallets, not entirely portals. They didn't have the native zkVerify staking dashboard we see now. So if you join the pool now, if you joined the pool back then, you didn't have quite the eagle eye view of the network health, the performance metrics, and the specialized network like the one zkVerify needs. So think of this transition as moving from a specialized cockpit of a jet to a sleek and intuitive dashboard. Now we've kept a robust security, but wrapped it in the user experience that's way easier to navigate through. It breathes, so to speak, in a four steps flow. In short, stake, delegate, validator, secure, and earn. So all in all, in other words, a one-stop shop to track rewards and monitor growth in real time, non-custodial, on-chain transparency. Impressive 54% annual percentage yield. Yeah, you heard me well. As of launch the data, nearly 60 million VFY already staked. Now, how is the upgrade going to make our lives easier? Mostly four reasons. I mean, it is now way much jargon-free zone. Now we translated all the substrate speak into plain English, no stressing over stash versus control or config. It's now clean, dedicated, decentralized app. Everything from rewards to performance is visible at a glance. We are now offering smart selecting. Previously, one had to manually research to find the right validator. Now we have brought the data to you with real-time filtering. You can instantly spot who's performing best, who's oversubscribed, to make you never miss a bit because of any possible manual error. You probably noticed as well that our new portal has a very special relationship with Subwallet. We work closely with them to make sure the integration is seamless. Polkadot.js remains as the advanced option. And we also added a reward history dashboard that charts your earn over time. Transparent, right there on the front page. All in all, a total engine upgrade for the VFY mainnet. Same underlying power, just a smoother ride. Now, to snap some of the FAQs around the new portal we've seen in the community. How does the new portal protect non-tech users from picking bad of oversubscribed validators? Well, in the old days, You had to manually crunch numbers to see if the validator was oversubscribed, meaning too many people were backing them, which actually dilutes your rewards. Now in this new portal, we've built automatic safeguards. When you go to select validators, the UI flags performance metrics and commissions rates clearly. Now we've essentially indexed validators for you. If I may exaggerate, if a validator has a 100% commission, meaning they take all the rewards, or is oversaturated, the portal makes it transparent immediately. So we turn research task into simple at a glance checkmark system, so to speak. Now, the APY snipe, 54% is huge. Is there a minimum VFY needed to see daily rewards? Yeah, indeed, 54% annual percentage yield rate is massive. Also, seeing the 60 million VFY staked does show the community values early participation. As for the how much do I need, the minimum question, the protocol is built to be like super accessible, low barrier to entry. But inside the scoop, of the nominated proof of stake, the way it works, the minimum active bond is not set in stone. It's rather dynamic. It's like a moving target that shifts based on how many people are joining the party. So, pro tip: don't just aim, for the bare minimum. If you want to make sure those daily payouts keep hitting your wallet without a hitch, you may want to stay comfortably above the dynamic threshold. And our new UI literally does that math for you. The new front end does it for you. It shows up the threshold in real time, so you can stop guessing and start earning. Just check the dashboard, stay ahead of the curve, and let's let the reward roll in. Now, that said, like I said in my introduction, we need builders as well. And I think an upgrade that Michael and his team have been working on is making that way much easier for developers to plug in. Michael, up to you.
Thank you for DK. I want to provide brief updates on 2 ecosystem projects and share some activities happening with our developer relations team, including the documentation that you mentioned and some of our global builder engagement efforts. First project I want to highlight is Knidos. They are one of our Thrive Builder Program funding recipients, and they are an on-chain AI fund manager with trade strategies kept private by zero-knowledge proofs. They are now live on testnet and sending proofs to zkVerify. Just a brief shout out for them. You can give them a follow at Knidos XYZ, Knidos XYZ on X, and also their website, knidos.xyz. Next up is Trailblaze, who you'll be hearing from in full next. They recently released their game Dungeon Claw, which is a dungeon crawler game for humans and AI agents powered by X402 with daily USDC prizes. Dungeon Claw has integrated zkVerify, and we'll be learning more about that integration and their game shortly. Around the world, the zkVerify team and our DevRel team have been busy delivering workshops to eager students and builders. Our DevRel Kushi Panwar recently completed a zkVerify tour around India, hosting hundreds of builders over a dozen in-person workshops. In the last month, I, along with Horizon Labs VP of Product, John Camardo, have delivered workshops to students in the US at Purdue University and Dartmouth College, and later today to students at the University of Washington. In China, our DevRel Jet Halo is planning a zkVerify event around Mu Shanghai, a multi-week technology conference coming in late May and June in Shanghai. Jet will be talking about zkVerify and building for the agentic economy. And as Fadike mentioned, Jet also recently completed a full refresh of zkVerify developer docs at docs.zkverify.io. Much more robust than previous, many code examples, tutorials, get started guides, and resources to meet you where you are in your developer journey and ZK journey. There is also a full translation of docs in simplified Chinese. So as we conquer the world with zkVerify, we thank Jet for his efforts on the documentation. And lastly, the team has released V1 of ZK School, which is an online ZK School for yourselves at zkschool.xyz. Those are our ecosystem updates for the month. And with that, I'll hand it back to Ferdike to introduce our guests from Trailblaze, makers of Dungeon Claw.
And yeah, and for the record, we also have Anthony, our marketing guru here, into the fray. Thank you for making it, Anthony.
Guys, happy to be here.
Now, before I move on, Michael, if you could punch us a one-line reason why the zkVerify new doc makes deployment much easier than building on a standard L1, what would that be?
Yeah, compared to the previous version of the docs, we not only have more content, but it's really split out by what you're looking to do and how well versed you already are as a ZK developer. The other really nice developments that we continue to grow into, but there's already great foundations there, are making developer documentation more AI readable. Of course, many developers, probably almost all developers now are using tools like Cursor and Claude Code to radically accelerate their development. That includes zero-knowledge proof integration. And so a major focus for us has been making our developer docs more AI agent friendly and readable. So when you ask Claude, how do I do this? You can point him to the zkVerify docs, the Courier docs, and now you and your friendly local AI agent have the material that you need to continue integrating ZKPs and zkVerify into your stack.
Appreciate it, Mike. Now we have here Electric. You still on mute. Oh, there you are. Can you hear me well, Electric? Okay, you might you might want to reboot your computer. Sometimes Discord audio does that trick. We need to reboot to troubleshoot it, but we can get back to you later in the call. Don't worry. All right. So John, meanwhile, tell us how you're tackling the industry-wide trust issue with the AI agents, AI agent registry. We are eager to know. I know we know the company has been square focused on that, and you're very curious to see your angle.
Yeah, so hey everybody. It's been a little while since I've joined this call, but nice to be here with you all again today. As Ferdike mentioned, we are working on a verifiable AI agent registry. The idea behind it is that rather than AI agents that you may be utilizing to provide certain services for you, making claims about how good they are at a particular task, you'll be able to view agents who can prove the outputs of their AI agents and quantify those outputs in a way where you can make a better buying decision based on what you're trying to achieve. So the team here at Horizon Labs has been working pretty heavily on building out this registry, but also building out agents that improve the output of their work. So we built legal documentation review agent that kind of looks at non-disclosure agreements and assesses whether or not they have certain clauses in them that should be changed. And the output is a score that says how good or how safe this document is, and the proof will ultimately prove whether that score was appropriately scored by the agent itself. We've also built out a Solidity code auditing agent, which audits Solidity smart contract code And it works by pulling in public GitHub repositories. You can kind of upload your own URL, and the agent goes and pulls the code, does a review, and then posts a pull request on your repo with a full audit report that recommends what you should do prior to deploying your smart contract on chain. The proof there is a proof that the AI agent didn't hallucinate and actually did all of the specific tasks that it was meant to do, like run certain checks against your contract, and that the output coming from the audit agent is actually full and complete, that it accessed the correct GitHub repo that you uploaded. So self and some other folks on our team have been in talking to a lot of different agent builders, whether those are individual builders or companies. And we've found a lot of interest in getting people wanting to onboard into this registry and to prove that their agent is actually producing outputs that are acceptable and that meet certain service level agreements. So the call to action for everybody here is, if you know of an agent builder that would be interested in something like this, where they can become discoverable for other human beings or for AI agents, where they can prove the output of what they're doing, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself. And if you're a builder and you're interested in proving the output of your AI agent, I would be more than happy to talk to you and figure out a way for you to get onboarded onto the registry. I think that's about it from my end. We will have a more public-facing version of this very, very soon. We're working on some UI and UX improvements. But if you're interested in kind of seeing the work in progress, the URL is agent-registry.horizonlabs.io. And this is a little bit of a sneak peek for people if they want to take a look and see where we're at right now.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Electric. Loud and clear.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Discord tech issues solved now.
Yeah. I know it's actually quite common. Appreciate you, man.
Hey,
So, John.
hey, John, real quick from my end, just out of curiosity, what are some use cases that someone would want to help verify what their agent is doing, right? Like, is it something in DeFi and possibly trading? Is it more safety, security issues? Any way you could shine some light on that?
Yeah, so I mentioned two of the more, I think, relatable use cases. So auditing smart contract code and auditing legal documentation. But there are plenty of other use cases that would be interesting and probably relatable for people. So we're building out a framework by which people who have trading agents that trade in DeFi platforms can actually prove the return on investment of the capital deployed without revealing their wallet address. The interesting component here is that we talked to some agent builders who are very public on X, and they have followers that follow them for their DeFi takes. And so we wanted to create a way by which these people could prove that their agent's actually doing a good job at trading without revealing their wallet address. So that's one idea, and maybe another idea that's somewhat relatable. I use a lot of developer documentation, and a lot of developer docs now have bots where you can actually ask a question and it gives you a response based on the documentation that sits behind the developer docs. And one question that I always ask myself is, why should I trust this chatbot to have retrieved the correct information for me? And one thing that you could do with zk proofs is prove that the response that you're getting is actually based on the documentation that is available in the developer docs, rather than something that the chatbot decided to go off on the internet and explore other websites to give you an answer that isn't based on the proper developer documentation that you're actually asking about. So those are two ideas, one in DeFi, one in the chatbot space, but there are plenty more, and we can probably share more on future calls.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you, John.
Sorry, I just had a question
Go
here. Is it somewhat similar to the 8004 registry in terms of kind of the parameters that you can register on? And this, I'm assuming this is on the zkVerify chain.
Great question. The idea was actually born out of the ERC 8004 discussion. So for those that don't know, ERC 8004 is a standard registry for agents on wherever the contract is deployed. But they specify in the specification 3 smart contracts that should exist. One for agent identity, where you register your agent, you get an identity card. That identity card is an NFT. It's a soul-bound NFT, so it can't be transferred. It uniquely identifies every agent. There's some parameters like wallets and things like that that you have to use to register. The second is a reputation registry, and that's meant to provide a space for people to write verbal feedback on your agent. So all that's kind of stored off-chain and is very subjective, I suppose. It's not quantifiable. It's just whatever people decide to write about your agent is what goes into that contract. I mean, you can think about it similar to Amazon or whatever type of reviews that people can write. And there are obvious ways that you could cheat, or you could spin up an agent to write a review about your other agent. And so the third contract that's specified but not yet implemented is this validation registry. And there's a discussion going on how exactly to implement that registry, and there are some ideas, one of which is ZK proofs. And so we took the opportunity to say, we have this great product, zkVerify. We are very knowledgeable in ZK proofs. We would like to contribute to this ERC 8004 standard overall. And that's where we started building the registry from. And so right now, the registry lives on Base, actually, not zkVerify. zkVerify is the way by which we're verifying proofs and then writing results to Base. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yep. No, perfect. And then that could be, transmitted to Ethereum at some point as well, right? Because
yes,
discussion, dual registry discussions, right, across the chains, it should be more, connected.
Exactly. Well, one of the things that we can write results to every chain. We can write results to Base. We can write to Ethereum. We can write them to Solana if we wanted to implement that. So yes, that is the ultimate idea.
Thank you for that, John. Just curious on my end, the way the AI agent registry plays out as a game changer for trust. In a sea of AI noise we see today, how does this registry help a good agent developer stand out from the hallucinating crowd using actual all-chain proofs?
Yeah, I think ultimately the situation is like when I use my AI tools, when I use my agent code, for example, I type a prompt, and there are a lot of things that go on in the background that the agent decides to do with my input. And often when I click in and try to figure out what the agent has done in order to provide a response to me or to provide some kind of work output to me, I find things that fail. I find things that like web searches that fail. In fact, I was working with my agent this morning, and I asked it to go access a website that I just deployed, and it was continuously responding with a cat version of my website. So the idea, in my mind at least, is, I want to gain a certain level of trust and not take it for granted that my agent is doing things in a quality controlled type of way. And so this is our way of being able to provide some type of mathematical, quantifiable proof that an agent is actually doing all the things that it's being asked to do, rather than retrieve old cached versions of a website, or skipping over a tool because the API that it's trying to use wasn't available at that particular time. This is really a way of gaining trust back in the systems that you're using, because frankly, they're not super trustworthy right now. I mean, they're not nefariously acting against you, but they can overstate. Agents can almost certainly and almost always overstate their level of confidence in what they're providing back to you. And so this is a way to remove that, trust gap and ground everything in quantifiable mathematical proof.
Thank you for the thoughtful and comprehensive response, John. Appreciate it. Electric, now glad you're joined the mix, and glad you hear your voice at last. So tell us all about the No Trust Me Bro on-chain gaming. How do you see that playing out in the future?
Well, I mean, yeah, future-wise, it's going to be demanded, right? But like right now, we're trying to pioneer a few things. I know, look, Chainlink's been doing RNG for a while, but when we reached out to you guys, first and foremost, I think stage one we did was random dungeon seeds. So we needed to get a random seed, and we connected actually to your Courier API very easily, and we were able to pull RNGs and then use that to seed the dungeon and prove that everything that came from that can be tracked back and verified. That was great. And I'll tell you how it started. It started with the agents coming in and winning a lot, right? And it kind of put the humans off to even try. But over time, I think some humans stepped up and actually ended up being, more consistent and having a higher edge than some of these agents. But there was one agent in particular that caught our eye, and we started to look at some of the runs. And we started to understand that we need a higher level of verification. So we moved to a stage two. And again, there's a lot more we're going to do with you guys. But stage two was verifying the combat. So how our game works, it's a dungeon run of 11 rooms. And in the 11th room, you face the end boss. But in those rooms, you can, so the seed was randomized. That means which rooms you face, how many combat rooms, how many encounter rooms, you might meet a merchant or anything else in your journey. But when it came to the combat, that wasn't verified, and we figured there was a way to maybe inject that server side. So we immediately plugged that hole by using zkVerify to verify the combat between in each and every room. So we are still tuning that, but it seems to be working. We have a few things planned that need randomality and proof, and that's exactly why we've hooked up with you guys.
Interesting. And that the trust issue aside, perhaps I was wondering if you could explain to newcomers, how does zkVerify make USDC rewards possible for a casual mobile game that otherwise couldn't afford on-chain fees?
Yeah, we're off chain at the moment. We are thinking of progressing to the on-chain model. We're decentralized maxis at the end, but right now it's just very easy to pull RNGs, and it works pretty seamlessly. So we tested it out; it works, and that's good enough for us. And obviously, we're now building out the kind of way that the user will prove it, because I think it's one thing saying, "Hey, it's proved." And then in a way, they have to trust that proof, but there's a way to look up that proof. And we want to do that in a visually sort of more educational way so that they can understand, like, oh, okay, yes, it's proven.
Oh, interesting.
Hey, Electric, well, can you talk to the crowd a little bit about Dungeon Claw, the game itself, and like what they can expect?
Oh, yeah,
from
absolutely.
playing? That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah. So okay, yes, absolutely. Like I said, it's a dungeon run game for humans and AI agents. The way it works is we have a free play mode, practice mode. You can come in and you can just test out the game and test your skills. But we also have a tournament competitive mode, and that's where it gets interesting because it's a pay-to-play game, and all 93% of all revenue from the I guess I can call them tickets, but it's coins. We call them dracs. 93% of that goes straight into multiple pools. So we kind of did an interesting format here, as opposed to it being day by day. Yes, it's day by day, but a certain percentage of each day's pot rolls into. Okay, so we have a time system. We have what we call ages, seasons, and epochs. An epoch is 24 hours, and a season is basically 7 epochs and a season finale. So it runs about 9 days on average. And then an age is 4 of those. So we've kind of created this time system throughout the game. And right now we just completed age 1, season 1. Age 1, season 1's completed. So that was all the epochs in a season finale. So that's how the time system works. But each epoch, you're playing for an epoch pot, and all revenue that comes in, I think it's 20 something percent, trickles into the season pot and then an age pot. So basically, it's kind of like it moves to somewhat like a progressive jackpot. And especially, we do have 2 rare items that need a lot more plays to be triggered. We have one that is 1 in 10,000 odds and 1 in 100,000 odds, the silver claw and the golden claw. And the idea there is obviously to get enough plays that the jackpot fills up enough that the progressive jackpot becomes interesting to just have a random drop and just win. So yeah, that's basically the game. It's 11 chambers, fight orcs, goblins, or 12 or 13 different foes to reach the end boss, and then defeat the end boss and make it to the leaderboard. You get a cup symbol to show that you're victorious. It automatically mints a hero NFT for you, which we are working out the utility for now. We have some interesting ideas, as well as if you rank 1, 2, or 3, you're taking a percentage of the pot. So first takes 50, second takes 30, and third takes 20. But we realized that we wanted to entice more users. So coming in season 2, we're introducing, our token called dclaw. We're introducing that to kind of a lottery system, which we'll be using you guys again to prove that our lottery pick, you just have to play. So play equals 1 drax. Every drax is 1 lottery ticket, and that's how we're going to look at it. So the more you play, the more chance you have of getting this dclaw, jackpot, I'll call it. Additionally to this, staking is in our system. And then we offer 2 ways of staking, and we've got an interesting system there. One way, you stake dclaw, and it's a non-lockup contract. You can remove any time, but as long as you have the lock-in, not a lockup, as long as you're staking, it's got no lockup. As long as it's staking, you will receive a certain amount of mercenary token. We call it merc. And what that is used for is to hire, I'm going to call them bots right now. We are going to evolve to full AI agents, but it's to hire bots to play the game for you. So you're staking dclaw to receive this currency, and it's the only way to receive this currency, and then you're using this currency to hire bots to have a go at the jackpot, basically. And we have some ideas there. Like I said, we're going to advance that and have full LLMs attempt that. So in essence, we have 3 types of players. We have human players, we have agents that come from humans, and then we have these mercenaries. But a quick teaser, I suppose, here now is an idea came to us today that we've had 1,600 runs. I can go through the statistics in a moment, but let me just finish the overall system. So that's it. You win the epoch in the top 3. You get you get a part of the prize pool, and you also win a epoch coin, a gold, silver, or coin, a gold, silver, or bronze coin, NFT, which is again automatically minted. That we are having future utility for. And then the season finales, which become bigger jackpots, and this win one of these and you receive a season ring, which we just gave out the other day. And the first to defeat the boss in a season finale also receives a unique one-of-one ERC 721 NFT for that specific boss. So that's the only one that will ever exist. So we're mixing a lot of technologies in this kind of gaming agentic experience. So I think that's most of the rules. They are a bit deeper, and we do have a full wiki. So it's wiki.dungeonclaw.com, and you can go through all of the rule sets, the speed of weapons, the damage of weapons. Heavily inspired by a lot of older games. I've been a lifetime gamer myself, so maybe we can reminisce on that. But essentially, what is different about this? So, I'll put it in a nutshell. A lot of people compare the crypto space to a casino. I've got a lot of experience myself in casino gaming. And in essence, it comes down to, why does a casino win every time? Casino wins most of the time. They have a bigger bankroll than you, but they have an edge against you. They have a percentage mathematical edge against you. So a lot of the things that are happening in the space when it comes to maybe even agentic gaming seems to be more on the gambling side. So when people come and say, well, is Dungeon Crawl gambling? You play money. I say, no, this is the start of skill gaming. So as everyone who understands mathematics knows, the more that you play, that luck will even out. Maybe someone's lucky on one roll of the dice or one roulette spin. As you move into large numbers, mathematics really kicks in, as we call it. So what we're doing is producing a skill game. We do have elements of luck, absolutely. But if you play enough and then the luck evens out, your skill or your edge will shine through. And we're already seeing that with a lot of the human players. They're quite consistent in hitting the leaderboard. They know they've worked out a strategy how to beat it. And obviously on season 2, we are tightening the game and making it even more tricky or unexpected for players to be able to have the replay value, because balancing a game is not easy. You make it too easy and then it's breezed through, it loses its appeal. You make it too difficult, people are too frustrated and no one wants to play. So game balance is one of the key things. But when you've got money on the line, I think that's what our tweet said. Adding this technology that we're all speaking about here now, I think is, like I said, now it's we can say it's experimental, but it's not, right? But from a world view, but in the future, this is going to be demanded, or anything that doesn't use this kind of thing will be shunned or maybe even laughed at. Like, oh, you play in that casino online? Everyone who plays on these online casinos, they have no idea the rig system that happens. And with this technology, we can finally say, actually, we know. We can see it. We can prove it mathematically. Fantastic, right? So what we're trying to bring, that's our vision, that's our future, is skill gaming to the space. And obviously we've created a game right now with a skill luck balance, maybe similar to poker, okay? So in the United States, as many of you know, is most of gambling is restricted, but poker is exempt it's a skill game. Why do they call it a skill game? There's luck in it. The cards are drawn. Over enough hands, the edge of the player decision will come through. Therefore, it's enough of a skill game to not be called gambling. And that's how we position ourselves. We're not a gambling platform. We're a skill gaming platform. And I think the more that people can understand the mathematics would be fantastic. They can see for themselves what I'm talking about. So what's really interesting, I mentioned 93%. We have a system that we're tweaking at the moment, but essentially, which we've already been doing, is injecting trading fees, which we've been, all trading fees from the token, injecting some of that into the pots. Well, what does that do? Well, again, mathematically, you have an over 100% play here. You've got positive EV. Right? So mathematically, what that means is every game you play, you're making money. Now, most people are going to say, no, I'm not making money. Where's the money in my... No, it's mathematical. And again, like I said, coming from a casino background myself, I can understand these concepts, but many people don't. And I suppose that's why you see them playing at these at the games in Vegas or whatever, trying to break the luck, right? So I hope that explains it. It is a fun game. Don't get me wrong. It's very challenging. It's addictive. I think we've created something that has a good balance. although we were getting a bit whipped at the end of the last season. But like I said, we can evolve. We've got all the statistics from six. So I'll drop the stats: 1,600 runs, 65% of which human. The rest is AI agents. Maybe only 3 or 4% is mercenary. So that's really people bringing their own agents trying to break the game, which we love. It kind of fell off a little on the last few epochs because the humans were doing so well. But we have big plans to bring communities of builders who have agents. Even you, John, I heard you mention you got your agent. Obviously, we'd love to see some kind of agent run through the dungeon. It's quite interesting watching it through Telegram. If that's the interface you use to communicate, it starts telling you play by play what it's doing, and you see the result at the end, your score and your position, etc. But yeah, it's AI agents times human, provably fair now with you guys, and we've got NFTs, we've got zk Tech, we've got X402 payments from agents. I mean, we're right at the bleeding edge, and we're skill gaming. I just want to iterate that as well. We're not gambling.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough, Electric, for the insights and the intricacies and the vicissitudes, so to speak, of online gaming and how zkVerify plugs in and can be leveraged to facilitate those flows. Very, very thankful for that. We got one question from the audience. Emmanuel, one of our star mods, asking, perhaps, John, you can take this. On VFI staking side of things, any plans to expand staking features to other wallets like Talisman?
Was that for me, for DK?
Possibly. I couldn't fully respond to that. Whether there's a roadmap to incorporate Talisman to the new staking page.
We can evaluate. I mean, you should be able to stake from any wallet. Let's be, first of all, clear about that. If the question is Talisman going to have native in-wallet staking similar to the way Subwallet does, I don't have an answer to you on that. We'll have to follow up with you on that.
All right, no problem. We'll respond async. Yeah, I think he meant probably incorporating a Talisman the same way we did for Subwallet within the new user interface that have so many UX advantages. Of course, we can still do the protocol way through many other through other wallets as well. But yeah, Emmanuel, we'll keep you on the loop on that. We're a bit over time, and I want to thank you all very much for showing up. Thank you, Electric, again, and for your patience during that sound troubleshooting, and for being so generous in your explanation on the on-chain gaming side of things. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, John, for your incredible exhibition of what to expect from the AI agent registry coming forward. It looks like other apps are interested in that too. And that's a wrap. Thank you all very much. This will be recorded, published. Anthony, any closing remarks?
A couple things from my end. So if you did join today's Discord community call, Frederique did share the code in the chat, but just to kind of amplify it verbally, the code for the proof points task is ZK all the way. So it's ZKALLTHEWAY. As you know, ZK is the way. Again, we'll be amplifying a lot of content from the Dungeon Claw game and the Trailblaze team. A lot more content to come out regarding staking, regarding the AI agent registry and zkVerify doc. So a busy couple weeks ahead, but always a pleasure joining you, Frederique, on stage and chatting with the community. So thanks again for this.
No, thank you. Yeah, like I said, we for those who couldn't make it, we all publish this on YouTube. I know there's a time zone challenge. Not everyone can join at the same time. And yes, thank you so much for your support, Anthony. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much.